Hi, and welcome to another reading with me, Leenna. Today we've got one for the mums and dads, and before we get into it, I just want to thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. And if you like it, share it as well. So today's topic is for the mums and dads. As I said before, it's called How Can I Help My Child Through This Difficult Time? So whatever your child is going through, whether it's not dealing with their schoolwork, whether it's some form of bullying, whether it's kind of depression, let's hope that the cards have some kind of way that you can help them. In fact, I'm sure they would show you a way forward. So we're going to be looking at 4 options. I've got the Bubbly quartz. It's actually clear quartz, but it's got all these bubbles inside. And then we've got Rhodonite. We've got some Bornite, and we've got Amethyst. So choose one of them. I'm going to be clarifying with the Hanson Roberts, or looking for advice from the Hanson Roberts as well. So let's start off with the Bubbly quartz. Let's see what your situation is with your child. And we've got the Dreamer, which is the Fool, the 4 of Earth, reversed, the Empress reversed, and the Magician reversed. So it feels like your child may want to do or study something which is fairly expensive. It could be a sport, it could be, for some of you it's ballet classes, for others of you it's going off on some kind of school excursion that may be overseas, and the finances are the major problem. And you know, they've been trying so hard, they've been saving their money, they've been helping around the house wherever they could, and you kind of made a promise to them, and it's you expected things to be better at this point, you know, and you're feeling really bad that you're not going to be able to afford it, or to show them how to afford it themselves. It just feels like you are financially so stretched that it's you know, you don't see how it's going to be possible for them to take these classes. And what makes it more difficult for some of you is horse riding, or is it called dressage? The heartbreaking thing for you is you can see their talent, you can see how much they enjoy it, and you know that they could really make a future of it, but there's just no finances to help them at the moment. So let's see what the cards say. We're going to pick 3 Hanson Roberts if there's a way forward with this. So we've got the 4 of Swords reversed, Death, the Knight of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So you know, the past 4 months have been really difficult. There is change coming. It could be that you're a single parent as well, and that that may be part of the reason why. And there is help coming. Wait about a month if you can. Wait for a month. There is help coming. There is financial help coming, either from a family member or from someone who really loves you or loves them. It could be an aunt or another sponsor. It could be a local business. For some of you, it's a local business. Someone who has a van, or what do they call them? A truck. And they might actually use your child, and for some reason I keep seeing the horse, as part of their advertising or community outreach. They, you know, so look for sponsorship from local businesses or even bigger businesses. And the person with the horse, the person whose daughter I think it is that's doing dressage or jumping, horse jumping or horse racing, but I think it's more jumping. You're going to get the finances from the local community. There could even be a fundraiser that everyone's getting involved in. So sorry about that. There's a lot of emotion, I think. So it's gonna be kind of like bringing the community together to help find the funds, and yeah, I think it's gonna be good. So it's not all on you. Yeah, it's going to definitely within a month or in a month, you're going to find there's some kind of fundraiser, or the funds are going to come in. It probably, you know, I'm recording this in March, so this is probably, you're going to get it by May. So hopefully it's in time, and if it's not May, it could be September as well, or it could be January, in the times of the earth signs, that you get your help. So hang in there, and please accept the help that's coming to you and your child. So that is what I have for you if you chose option number 1, which was this bubbly quartz. And good luck to them in their sport or their endeavor or whatever it is. And you know, I'm sure they'll do very, very well. So let's look at if you chose option number 2, the Rhodonite. How can you help your child? We've got the 9 of Wands reversed, the 2 of Wands, the Moon, and the King of Air. So this one you have to use communication. I feel you're dealing with, this is catching my eye, an 8-year-old turning 80, going on 80. So they know everything. They constantly talk back to you. They constantly have something to say, and it can be really hurtful. So there's, you know, sometimes it's really funny, and it's hard for you to not laugh, because you know if you laugh, it's going to encourage them, and you definitely don't want that. And also they tend to throw tantrums. So communication here is the key. You need to set up boundaries. You need to use your intuition. And one way for you to sort of a safe conduit for your child's emotions and expression is going to be the arts, and it's going to be nature. But you definitely need to keep boundaries and rules in place, and you need to be very stern and very firm. Otherwise, they're going to be the ones constantly dictating to you until you are 80 years old. And I'm sure you don't want that. So let's look at what the Hanson Roberts says. We've got the Ace of Wands reversed, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, 9 of Cups, the Hangman reversed, and the 7 of Wands. So again, communication and creativity. You can use creativity to help them express their energy easily. They may want to do a really competitive sport, but for the moment it would probably not be very good for them, because it's just going to make them more aggressive, and it's going to, you know, if you really want it for them, you need to balance it with something creative and something calm and soothing, like meditation, because the moon as well can mean meditation. So you know, they need a very balanced approach. You need communication, you need creativity, you need to get them to understand that it's not good to talk over people and to disrespect people by shouting them down. Because if you don't do that, someone's going to later in life, it's going to be such a disservice to them for them to act that way, and they're going to end up having a much more difficult time by the time they reach high school. So what kind of so meditation would be good for them. Drawing, working with color would also be very good for them. They may also like baking, and they love, I'm seeing a little girl with long brown hair, very straight, who loves cooking and baking, and that seeing how much joy she can bring to people that way is something that's going to help her manage her more challenging aspects. And so it's just find something that they enjoy, that's creative, and at the same time allows them to see how much easier it is to work with people rather than to waste all that energy talking over them or shouting them down or throwing a tantrum. And you'll see that they'll calm down and they'll be much, much better, and they'll be much more balanced as well as time goes on. So that's what I have for you. Option number 2, the Rhodonite, is help filter or funnel their energies into creative pursuits, a little bit of meditation, and maybe some sharing with people their talents. That's in a way that helps them see that they can bring joy to people. So if you chose option number 3, the amethyst, let's see how you can help your child and what's going on as well. So we got the 3 of air reversed, we've got renewal, we've got Queen of Pentacles reversed, and the 3 of Wands reversed. So the first thing I thought of is that perhaps you've gone through a divorce recently and they're in an adjustment phase, and that all of you are trying to move on. And if it wasn't a divorce, it was another loss that was very similar. For one or two of you, it could have been the loss of a pet. For others of you, it could have been the loss of a loved one. But there's definitely a major loss. I mean, you feel that they've moved on a bit, but you can see that they're maybe very withdrawn, or there's a 16-year-old that you're worried about because they're drawn to the occult, and maybe the darker side of the occult. And this is a young boy, and I keep thinking he's about 15, 16. He's got very sort of thick brown hair that's almost black, that always falls on his eyes, and he's always sort of brushing it away. And he's got quite bushy eyebrows as well, and maybe blue or gray eyes. But anyway, you can trust his judgment. You don't have to. This 15 or 16-year-old boy, might be Brian, he's got good judgment. And even if you don't like his friends, like I said, he's got good judgment. But you don't like the fact that he seems to be spending so much of his time in his room or with these friends and not sort of living life. For others of you, you also feel like your child is withdrawing, or that you're not giving them enough attention, and you're just so tired when you come home that there's not that sense of family anymore, and you know that it's something that they miss or something that they really need from you. So let's see what the Hanson Roberts says for you. How can you help your child? So we got this 7 of Wands, the Ace of Wands reversed, the Devil, I'm just laughing because of the occult thing. Okay. And the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. So you may be thinking of moving home, and it's saying that it will happen in time, but it's asking you, is it the best choice? Because financially it's going to be very, very difficult. This is especially if you've just divorced or if you've lost someone like a spouse. It's telling you instead that also if you've divorced or you are a widow or a widower, you may be thinking of dating again and you're not sure how your child or children are going to take it. And it's saying give them a little bit more time. For the moment, it's probably better that you stay single. For those of you that are trying to help your child through this heartbreak and to sort of start living life again, to bring the smile back into their face, it's telling you that the family bond's still very strong, but you need to give them a bit more options. They're not as, this is your child. They have good judgment. They have ways of, they're stronger than you think they are, and they're a lot more mature than you think they are. And it's time now to start giving them options. Otherwise, they're going to start acting up or kind of being too clingy to you, and it's not going to allow you all to grow better. If you're looking for a strong authority figure for them or a role model, there is one coming in, but you've got a choice. And you have to respect their choice about whether or not they accept that person. So that's why I feel that if you are wanting to date again, or if you want to introduce a boyfriend or girlfriend to them, that it's better to wait for a little while. For those of you, for the parent that's dealing with the 15 or 16-year-old that's very interested in the occult, I think that the less you interfere, the better it will go for them, because they are, like I said, very grounded, and they I'm just going to pick one more card because for some reason that one is just amusing me. Yeah, they're gonna get bored with it and they're gonna move on because they have other options, and I feel that they are really kind of they're really into computers, and they really find computers more interesting than the occult, and probably the only reason they're into that is because they want to impress a boy or a girl, and they are protected. I don't think you should worry about that child of yours. So for others, the next year or from the spring, things are going to be much better. And like I said, the more options you give them, the more choices, the more you allow them to choose their own clothes or to decide what to do on your Sunday or family day, the more they're going to start responding to you, and the more they're going to go out. And you don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need to spend, you don't have to take them on a long, expensive holiday. Starting a garden will help many of them, or giving them a pot plant. If they have lost a pet, I would say rather give them a plant for the moment, or plant a tree, because they're not quite ready for a pet again. And that's what I'm picking up for option number 3. I hope that was helpful. And if you are Brian's mother, yeah, you have nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's look at option number 4, the Rhodonite. How can you help your child through this difficult time? We've got Seven of Air, the Chariot, Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So I think some of you might have children who have just changed schools or finished high school and are moving on. And you're wondering if you should help them buy a car or something like that. But your child is going through a bit of an identity crisis. They might have had quite a difficult time recently at school. Your child is, there's different kinds of abilities and IQs, and your child is not the one that excels in traditional academic settings. They would be, if they're not at a Montessori or something like that, that's the kind of environment they respond well to. And they're not so good at numbers. For others of you, they could have something like Asperger's syndrome, where they are very, very good with numbers, but they don't know how to express themselves as a child should. This is for the younger group of people, or the younger children. And it's telling you that you need to be less protective of them. You should allow them to travel a bit more, and to allow them their projects, especially the ones that aren't so good at traditional school. They may be really good at building things or making things grow, or I'm getting more building. They build stuff. They love Lego. And for the ones that are going onto college, or they may be starting a job, they I think they need the independence that it would, if you want to help them buy a car, don't buy the car, but maybe help them finance it, as in, you'll match half of whatever they put in, or you'll match a third of whatever they put in, that kind of thing, because they kind of need it. They need it for their own self-esteem. They need to feel that they can make it out there in their own world, in their own terms, and it's going to teach them to be more successful in the future. So let's look at Hanson Roberts cards. We've got the Four of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and the Six of Wands. So if your child has been bullied and you've wanted to pull them out of school and send them to another school, I think that would be a good option at the moment. But it's going to be a little bit further, and you may see a little bit less of your child than you used to. So for those of them that are going off to college or starting their new life or phase in life, they have felt, they've had problems with their self-esteem. They've had a lot of regrets. Maybe they didn't work as hard at school or didn't do as well as they wanted to, and now they are certain they're going to make it their own way. They may not go to a traditional college. They may go to a technical college, and they may decide to do things, some of them may even decide to go overseas or into another state, or to live with a relative quite far, and they need that independence. For those of you that are dealing with kids who have Asperger's, or if they are not responding to traditional ways of teaching, it's telling you that it's okay. It's causing them a lot of heartache to not be like the other kids, and that they have other interests. We got the building or the intricate details card. They will get a lot out of socializing, but maybe not with their classmates. Maybe with maybe there's there's a support group or a social group for other kids like them, or there is one, you know, it may be a little bit of a distance, it may even be a camp, or it could even be that you can only go there every 6 months. But whatever it is, I feel it's a club. It's like a club where they can take whatever they've built or whatever they've made and show it to the other kids, and you know, they talk about it and they get excited about it, and you'd be amazed about what they come up with and how they discuss it. And it's like, wow. But it is going to take a longer commitment from you, as in trying to get them there and building up relationships with the other parents and the other kids there as well. And I think it will bring both of you all, or all of you, a lot of happiness. And I think there was one more. What was the one more? So if your child is just having some difficulties at school, it's temporary. It's over the next 6 months. Either they're going to change school or they're going to have a new teacher. For a lot of them, they're going to have a new teacher, and they're a lot of fun, and they're going to enjoy teaching this person. This teacher is very experienced and very fun, and I feel it's a female teacher, and that they probably come from out of town, and your child's gonna really enjoy being in their class, and it's gonna, you know, they're gonna, if your child hasn't been socializing with the rest of class, they're gonna help draw your child into the games and into communicating better at class, and just producing more happiness and more productivity from your child. So you know, give those of them that need their space. Be supportive of the ones that are building things, and yeah, it's only the one that's being bullied that would be a good idea to change their schools. The others, the situation is changing within the next 6 months, or you're moving, or something else is moving in the right direction. So that is what I have for you. I hope that it's helpful, and I'd love your feedback. And if you have any other topics you'd like me to cover concerning your child, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to look at it and to do a reading for it. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again soon, and keep those vibes high. Bye.